Good morning, YouTube. It's me, Janella, and I just wanted to do a little chit chat this morning. Um, my husband goes to work at 9 o'clock, so I have like an hour and 40 minutes or so, maybe. So I just wanted to come on and do a coffee chat. So, um, again, good morning. It's a nice sunny day, and sorry the lighting is really horrible because the sun is directly behind me. So, um, give me a second so I can go grab my coffee, and then we can just chat. Okay, I'm back. And I got my lovely cup of coffee with my unicorn on it. It's my favorite cup right now. I don't know why. I think it's the fact that my daughter, who's 12 and soon to be 13 here in a couple months, she likes unicorns. And so I bought her the same mug. I got this at the Dollar Tree. And so I bought one for her, and when I saw it, I was just like, oh, I should have bought one for me. And I went back and they didn't have it. I went to the other one on this side of the river, to the Dollar Tree over here, and they didn't have it. For the longest time, they didn't have any. And then, lo and behold, one day I walked in, and there they were. And I was like, oh, yes. So I made sure I grabbed one. It's my favorite cup right now. Like I said, I have other cups that, are I'll switch out, and, when another 2 or 3 months down the road, I'll, grab another cup and say, oh, this is my favorite cup, and I'll use it for like 2 to 3 months straight, and then, do the same thing. That's just me, because I'm weird. I'm just weird. So, this morning, I just kind of wanted to talk about mental illness. I have mental illness. I also have many physical illnesses. And the reason why I want to do this video is I just saw a video, and I'm sorry that I didn't find out her name, but she said that she had parents who had mental illnesses. I have PMDD, and I have to watch the time, so I can't really chat a whole long time. I tried doing like a 20-minute video, and YouTube was like, too long. So anyway, I have PMDD, which stands for premenstrual dysphoric disorder. And I also, naturally I have depression, anxiety. I, deal with a lot of emotional stress, or I used to. Okay, I'm going to say I used to. I don't want to say this in the present tense because, I had a long battle with it, and it affected so many lives. It affected my parents' lives. It affected my daughter's life. It affected my sister's life. And, I feel, I look back on that and I feel really bad, that they went through all of that with me. But I have ways of coping with it that are more positive than what I used to, how I used to deal with it. So I deal with depression, anxiety. I'm trying to think. I have a lot of fear, and I go through. I used to went through a lot of crying jags where I just cry, and nobody knew, and not even me. I didn't even know, why I was crying. So it's like if I couldn't deal with it. What made everybody else think they could deal with it? But I found a doctor, and he put me on the right medications. Finally, it was a combination, and the changes didn't happen right away. I went through a lot of therapy. I saw is it a psychiatrist or well, I talked out a lot of my problems, and talked them through. And a lot of times people are like, "Oh, that's so hokey," I can't handle talking to a quack, and they don't do nothing but want to shove pills down your throat. But that's not entirely true. I the thing was that he was unlike any other doctor. It's true that some doctors like to just give you medication. Here, try this. Here, try this. Try this. Try this. Try this. And it doesn't work because the medication just messes with your mind. So I had to find the right combination, and he did. And once he figured out what it was, which took about a year and a half or so, he prescribed. Well, he gave me the choice. He says you can either go online or and research this disorder, or and just kind of deal with it through diet and exercise, or you can take medication for it and I'll prescribe it for you, and we'll just continue to see how it works and how it progresses. Well, I did go ahead and take the first route, and tried to research it, and a lot of it was diet and exercise, eating the right food. Some women do overcome it with diet and exercise, but being that I'd had it so long and nobody really knew, I went ahead and gave permission to have me put on medication for it. So over time it took about a year for the therapy and the medications to work. And it wasn't an easy road, but I did eventually overcome my PMDD. I also suffer from, I don't want to say suffer, I hate that word suffer, because I don't suffer anymore. I can confidently say that I do not suffer anymore. I also have rheumatoid arthritis. Thanks, Aunt Aline. Yeah, you relatives. I inherited rheumatoid arthritis, fibromyalgia, and again, I deal with those with medications. And and then I have diabetes type 2, but I had juvenile onset, and then later in adult years it turned into type 2. So here's to life. I take insulin. I don't know, there's a video in my past where you will see syringes on the table, and I'm sorry. Forgive me, I'm only human. I'm trying to train myself to put the syringes in the because depression does a lot of things to the mind, and one of them is you don't pick up after yourself. You're always tired, and everything is difficult to accomplish. Sweeping a floor, cleaning out the fridge, folding your clothes, putting them away. It becomes it's like your muscles just don't want to do it. Your brain says no. Well, while deep down inside, you know that these things must be done, and you have, work to do, or, you have, children to take care of. But, and then people think that, oh, you're just lazy. You just don't care. And that's not true. That's not true. I was raised in a clean home. My mother always kept things neat and clean. And, my dad is a little bit of a pack rat, but, he's an organized pack rat. He's got his piles and stacked stuff, here and there. But, so I don't know what happened to me, really. Became depressed right out of high school. Had to face the real world. Oh, the real world. I was so hurried to grow up, and, and the moment I graduated, somebody goes, "Yay, you're free!" And free to get a job, free to pay taxes, free to deal with, your problems. And I'm just like, seriously? Oh, man. I didn't know what I was in for. So I did end up going, having a breakdown. I was a cutter, and I no longer cut to deal with my pain. And aside from cutting, I used to do other things like, it was spontaneous behavior. Some people thought it was cool because they were like, "Oh, you don't ask permission, you just do it." Others were like, "Why, Danella?" I would chop off my hair if I got extremely sad. I would, pluck out all my eyebrows, and, just strange things that people, now I'm finding out that those things weren't so strange. But I wanted to send this message out that, mental illness, these things can be overcome. And if you want to talk more about it, I would love to start a discussion. I will tell you how I overcame it in more detail. Right now I'm just kind of giving you a small overview. So yeah, that's it. And so, I'd really love to gain some subscribers and make some friends. And so if you could, just give this a thumbs up, and I will see you guys later. Okay. Bye, precious ones.